let's talk about how we started this whole thing. How did Forge get started and how did we kick it off? How did the three of us come together to, start this adventure?
So I was at a point in my career as kind of a fork in the road, a transition time, and I was doing a lot of soul searching to determine what was really my purpose. What do I love doing? How can I add the most value to our clients, who are our clients? And Ricky approached me with an idea to do business brokerage, and I'd done it previously. In fact, that's how we met
Yeah.
the first time. And he floated this idea by me before. The timing just wasn't quite right. Um, and honestly, when he asked me the first time, I didn't have the confidence that we could do it. And it was something that I never wanted to do on my own anyway. But because of Ricky having that confidence and believing in me, this idea came to life. And it was just great for all three of us with our diverse but complementary skill sets really bring to the table here.
Yeah, absolutely, brother. I mean, basically it boils down to what we were talking about a little bit earlier about timing, right? You can't time things on your own accord, right? Like it's never going to happen in your timing, I guess is what I'm trying to say there.
Right.
And so James and I had been talking about, hey, there's this gap in the marketplace for business brokers that are working in a more professional light. That isn't just like a transactional business where you're just trying to get a house sold, right? Like real estate. Yeah, used car salesman. I know that's not the funnest term to use, but there's a lot of them out there. There's a lot of great brokers out there too. But we saw the gap in our community. I noticed that James and I were talking about, we're like, there's just some magic missing. There's some piece that we're missing here. And that was the same thing when I think you and I had the conversation. We're like, there's something missing. I'm not quite sure how I would do this. And so it comes back to like that three legs of the stool, right? I mean, I really envision us in that. And James does such a good job of talking about the Venn diagram of all of our interwoven skills, but also those outliers as well. And so it was really neat to see those three legs come together. We add a lot of value to what business owners can do. And God just really put it into the right time, in the right place, in the right moment. And we answered the call.
You put it perfectly. The Venn diagram is great. We all complement, but it's different, right? And we challenge each other. I think we started this process. You hope for the best, but you plan for the worst, right? We are real methodical about this process, right? We all have different experiences. You've had some good and bad. You've had some good and bad. I've had some good and bad.
Right.
And so
What do you
we came
always
in
say?
here,
Perfectly what?
we're perfectly middle-aged.
That's
right?
great.
We're perfectly
I love that.
middle-aged. So, 20 years of, making good and bad mistakes, and hopefully 20 more years of only good things. But I do, Ricky, give you so much credit for seeing this vision, seeing the opportunity, creating that vision for us, and then trusting us. But it did, two legs of the stool don't stand up. When we need the three of us. And this has been rewarding for me, and I think for you guys as well, the past 6-8 months.
And you hit it pretty well. I mean, the methodical piece, I love you guys for that, because that's not me, like going into business documents and like reading through line by line on every little word. I was like, y'all do y'all. I'm charge ahead, bull, like let's go. And y'all were like, slow down, take a minute.
You're really
Let's make
trusting,
sure we get this
Ricky. I
right.
love that about you.
Well, there's trust built here. We've
That's
known each other for almost probably over a decade now, all of us. Like, and so and then the funny, like, working of like Callie too, like where James had been working with Callie already and doing some stuff. And so y'all knew each other, but not really, but it was all there. Like it was so perfect and ready to be done. And we're going to do fantastic stuff.
No, it's been fun. It's exciting and it's challenging. Every single day is a new opportunity and it's fun.
Yes.
The methodical part, and then just like the AI. Ricky, you've gone so deep in the AI and it's pushed me into there, and that's exciting and new. And Brad, you're like, just leave me out of it.
So that's my trust component. I'm
But
gonna go over here and do a
again,
spreadsheet.
it goes back to the Venn diagram. It's like you do care, you are interested, but Ricky and I are like really into it, and so we're kind of doing that. And then you and I get really deep into the spreadsheets,
Right.
But you guys are great salesmen, right? Y'all go out there and y'all are great in these lunches and these meetings, and I'm trying my best to keep up. But like, we all have a lot of complementary things, and so I'm trying to learn from you guys and hopefully teach a few things, but we're all building each other up.
That's the purpose of a partnership, and the successful ones for sure, man, are where the 1 + 1 + 1 = 5 or 6 or more, you know. There you go.
$1 billion.
Billion. That's great.
Oh man, and I love the whole dynamic of us as being our brother's keepers as well. Like iron sharpens iron, man. Like we live that out. We really do.
We need that T-shirt, Ricky.
Yeah, I have my iron sharpened, and I mean it. Like that is such an important piece of this, because it's not just a business partnership. There's a friendship here, and we've got to make sure we're sharpening each other.
Well, that's a good segue. And why did we name our company Forge and come up with our logo?
Because Callie's awesome.
Well, Callie's awesome.
So Callie's my wife.
Needless to say.
She's a brand strategist, creative expert. She did some of the backgrounds here in murals and stuff for James. That's how we met.
Yeah.
And I was just impressed from the beginning from his expertise and acumen when it comes to real estate, and his ability to take risks. But more importantly, one of the coolest things about James is whenever we get bad news from a client, or it's not exactly what we want to hear, he'll always be like, "This is great." He sees the and I'm not built that way.
Calmness in the negotiation.
It's so great. He's like, "This is great," and I'm learning from that and taking that attitude towards just the common frustrations and problems that I face in life. Like, what's the positive thing that I can take out of this? And that's what gets deals to the finish line, man. Right there.
I appreciate that.
Yeah.
100%.
I think about, everything's like a joust or a battle, or, it's like you might lose a little bit. You've got to win the war.
Yeah.
But I wanted to go back to the Forge idea, like why we named it that.
Forge, yes.
So, we thought a lot about that name. We threw out 1,000 different options. We asked chat to help us with a bunch, and it's tough coming up with a name, right? It's tough that it embodies it all, but we worked through that process, and ultimately the name Forge is powerful. It helps forge businesses and steel. It's a place of conflict, right? It's actually a really huge area of conflict, right? Hammers and steel and friction, but ultimately it builds something beautiful. Yeah. And so I think that's kind of what we've done. And then even our logo was cool in terms of kind of how we designed that. And so I don't know, it's like you need to inspire yourselves to inspire others. And I've always been real excited about Forge. I'm so happy with the name and the logo.
I know, and Callie did such a good job of bringing our whole like Three Musketeers swords thing into it, making it to where it's not really swords, but they're there. We know they're there. We know we're trying the noble defense, as you said, like that knighthood in a sense of we're here to defend and to take action on behalf of our clients.
Nobly, right?
Nobly.
That was a big word. Thank you for coming back to that.
Yeah.
We use that a lot in defining the ethos for our company, because we don't want to be used car salesmen. Right? This industry has a shady, murky reputation, and so we're trying to, lift it up.
All three of our careers have been in fiduciary roles. You're a broker. You're a fiduciary. I'm a banker. Fiduciary. You're a financial wealth advisor. This is all part of our professional guidelines and expectations.
Ethos.
Yes. And so we've all been taught that way. And so that's how we operate. For each of our clients, we're pushing ethically for the best possible outcome.
Right.
That's where we live.
Best interest.
Yeah.
I love that.